making $290 trading Bitcoin. What's going on, guys? Welcome on into today's trade recap. We are back on the positive side with a Bitcoin winning trade. So we're going to get into that. We're going to do the recap and we're going to move on. There's a couple recaps coming out. These are all, we're rolling and we're just going to roll them out. So there's recaps coming like every day. Eventually things will quiet down, I would imagine, around 4th of July. I'll be traveling a little bit, so I'll probably be trading less, although I guess I could close out of swings, which I may have open. And yeah, so that's the plan. So Bitcoin, we did trade this in both accounts, the 25K account and the 6K account. And we made about 290. This is a trade that I'll be talking about in the next recap video. So let's talk about this Bitcoin trade. These are the same exact trades. We're going to dive into it. We have a realized R multiple of 1.64, 1.63. That was tracked. All good to go. So where did this trade come from and why did I get into it? I guess I can go back in here and show you the executions and the timing. I got in the afternoon, just after the market closed, about 45 minutes or so after the close, in the afternoon on Monday, and I got out Monday night. That's when the take profit hit. That's it. So I was asleep when that happened. So making money while I slept. I risked 156 on the trade to make 246. I probably could have looked to make more, but it is what it is, and I'm going to take that, and that's a good trade to me, in my book at least. So let's get into it. Oh, man, Bitcoin. Sorry, if you were on the live stream on Tuesday, you understand we were looking at this idea. I was like, maybe it was going to go. It didn't go there, but the volume came in and it went. Finally, I didn't trade it, but I had 2 trades on the day already prior to that. So I was like, but it could have been a good idea, and it was. Or it worked. I shouldn't say it was. It worked. It just worked. You know, there's always a lot of ideas. So Bitcoin takes a dive. This was a decent dump day. I mean, you had a very large move to the downside on Sunday night going into Monday. And then that really accelerated pretty hard at the end of the day on Monday as Bitcoin got down to 60K, bounced a little bit underneath it, came up, and then boom, got nailed into the end of the day. That was right after the market closed, and I was like, oh, now it has my attention. Why? Because I've watched Bitcoin do this many times. I've seen its flash. I don't say flash. It was a flash crash. Maybe it's a low. I don't know. Maybe it'll bounce here. I don't really know. But I've seen it happen a lot, and it could easily roll over and go for a hard move down. But I said to myself, hey, short term, we're bearish. Big picture, we're bullish. Big picture, you're getting down towards the bottom of where it's bounced multiple times. If I see my setup and I get an inverse to my setup, I will trade it long. And so at that time, I was doing some stuff. I don't know what I was doing at the time. I was working on something, and I just had Bitcoin pulled up on the side, and I would just check back in here and there, and I watched it, and I was like, oh, here it comes to setup. So I drew this line. Okay, let's see what happens here. I'm like, I'm not going to trade this to the downside. It's right down like 7% on the day, whatever the number was. I'm not shorting it right here. But if it breaks down, snaps back on volume, I'll play it. That's exactly what happened. I mean, it's literally exactly what happened. We got the breakdown, massive lower wick, volume comes in, Bitcoin closes back above, and we go long. I actually got long once we pushed back above about 59,250. I can get you the exact entry point, which was around $59,337 on it. And I got out just shy of 61K at 60,996. So if you do the math on that, that would put you somewhere like this with your risk reward profile. Let's draw that in, just shy of 61 right there. And there you go. And it took its time. This is a 5-minute chart, but this is the time frame that I originally traded it on, and it just took its sweet time to roll forward and push up and get there. And I guess it went to 62K, coulda, woulda, shoulda made more. I don't really care. It was a good trade to me. I'm going to take that. And generally speaking, I know there's been some trade recaps where the numbers may be a bit larger, but there have been for a one trade perspective, this is a decent size. And on these accounts, I risk about $150. Or on the 25K account, I risk about $150 per trade. Between that and $200 is my rough range right now. Every trade's a little bit different. That's the area that I'm risking in. And so when I can make about 250 on it, I'm happy. I mean, I'm making way more than what I'm going to risk on average. So I'm going to take that to the win column. There you have it. And I've got a bunch of trade recaps coming out shortly. So I'm going to tag this as a failed breakdown. And I'm going to go on the 5-minute time frame. Bitcoin back on the positive. I guess it was hurting me. Now I'm, I guess, doing better with it. Stay tuned for the next trade recap. We've got, I think, the Dow next, and then a couple other day trades from Tuesday, the 25th. Peace.